Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the legend run of PurpleKyogres in the Open Ultra League. We're going to have here a very interesting team with the XL Pidgeot, with the move Feather Dance, a Pokemon that I don't really see too often nowadays, but let's take a look on how they play this Pokemon here. You're going to have a team also with Cobalion in the lead, something that you rarely really see as well nowadays, as well as the Jellicent, which is currently taking over the Open Ultra League, and for good reason. But yeah, today we're going to take a look at their team. We're going to have here now the Feather Dance coming through against the opponent's Cobalion. And with a 4 times debuffed attack, I think the Stone Edge doesn't do too much damage here anymore, but still actually hits more than I expected it would do. But you can still go for a Brave Bird here, trying to knock out the opponent, and you're going to not be able to do this, forcing you to basically let this move go through. And I guess you can try to farm all the way down now with your own Cobalion, trying to get to Stone Edge for the opponent's Charizard here, which might be the play to go for, as you're going to get a ton of energy. You should have been able to get an extra fast move in here as well, but the game lagged a little bit, so that's not really ideal. But now you're going to be able to now take this move again. You're going to have a Stone Edge stored, and the opponent's Charizard is most likely coming back in here again, as we see that here as well. They're going to go for the charge move here. Don't know how much energy they had, but they might have been able to get to a... No, they actually went for the bait here. So Stone Edge is coming through right now. Let's see if they're going to shield this move up. They do not, and now it's going to come down to the final Pokemon, which is going to be the Snorlax right now. And here's the issue with Snorlax. I actually encountered a Snorlax today as well in my battles, but this Snorlax was running Earthquake, which was really good for them. But usually they're running the Body Slam as well as the Superpower, which is going to be a hard counter, or like completely not doing any damage at all against the Jellicent, which is lurking in the back there. And even if they have a move that's going to hit the Jellicent, they had no chance with that low amount of health. So, first game, good game. Next opponent, a regional winner, I think from Brazil, if I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think they're from Brazil. A regional winner, a regional champion. You see, always see it with like the shirt they have on. Like if you win a regional, you get like a special shirt, which I think is a cool kind of hint or whatever. It's really cool from Niantic that they did this. But here we're going to actually see 2 Brave Birds coming through from the Pidgeot, actually being able to realign here if you want to. And you're going to try to realign, which is really cool to see. Like, I didn't actually know that Pidgeot would be able to win this matchup if they go for 2 of those moves, but now you can go for another Feather Dance, but the opponent going to get to their move first, and you're going to let this move go through. The opponent's Hexor is going to be a little bit difficult for you to deal with, but you're gonna go ahead and go into your Jellicent here, which can take just moves fairly easily, as they go for another Breaking Swipe, debuffing your attack. You might just want to go straight for... Okay, you can go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball here, I guess, as they're going to debuff you even further. It's going to be a very difficult matchup for you to still win here. The Shadow Ball is coming through, gonna get the shield from the opponent, of course, and you're going to try to most likely swap out after this one. I'm not sure what you're going to try to do here right now. No, you're going to stay in and try to go for a Surf Bait. I'm not really too familiar with this. Oh, they're actually going to shield this move. Okay, that's very confusing. This was a clear Surf that wasn't even close to being a Shadow Ball. So, interesting play by the opponent here. They're going to be able to farm all the way down. Your only hope is basically if there's something like a Steel type in the bag, maybe something like a Charizard in the bag. Cresselia, there's no way of you winning this game anymore. And you're going to forfeit here as well. There was nothing you can do at this point of time. Cresselia is just too bulky, especially if you're debuffed. Your Stone Edge just basically no damage. Very good lead here for you. Gustode lead is amazing for you. That's exactly what you're going to want to face. And we're going to see the Cresselia here. This is actually interesting because Cresselia can flip this matchup if you played correctly as a Cresselia. But I don't think the opponent really here has any interest on flipping, as it seems like, at least, as they're going to run for Future Sight. Okay, yeah, you need to have Grass Knot in order to flip this matchup. They don't seem to run Grass Knot, they're running Future Sight and Moonblast. So you're going to be fine here with your Jellicent, going for a Shadow Ball as well, trying to get the shield from the opponent. Fairly certain that you're going to be fine here, just getting the alignment again, which is going to be amazing for you, because the Cobalion is completely hardballing the Gustode, and the opponent also realizes this here as well. And they're just going to forfeit this game. Next game coming up, we're going to encounter a Walrein in the lead, which is going to be a fairly decent lead for you, as you're going to now see, of course, the Charizard coming in. There is nothing that a Charizard can do against a Jellicent. Jellicent is such a tank, like it doesn't matter. You're actually going to go for a shield though against the Blast Burn. That's something that's, I find at least, a little bit surprising, because you don't at least have to shield the first one, and you're still going to be able to survive 2 anyway. You don't even go for the perfect energy alignment there and just go straight for the Surf, allowing you to at least realign. And I guess, like, it's fine for you, because the Walrein still has to go for an Earthquake, and the Earthquake doesn't even knock you out. They still have to go for an Icicle Spear afterwards. So this is going to be a very decent scenario for you right now. You can let this move go through. Going to be the Earthquake. Even an Icicle Spear is, I guess, a little bit too low for this right now. Maybe now, after a few more fast moves, it's going to be in range for that. But the Shadow Ball is gonna get the shield from the opponent. And we will see that they go for the Icicle Spear. Now, they have a ton of energy on the Walrein. Like, definitely around, like, 60 energy or something still stored onto this Pokemon. As you're going to see a swap onto the Cresselia. Great swap by the opponent here. Great play in general. As you're going to have to go straight into your Pidgeot. And you can go straight for the Feather Dance, I would say. As this is going to debuff the opponent's attack. And now you're going to have a very decent matchup for you here. As you're going to be able to outspeed them to the move. And now the Moonblast does around like 30% or something. So not even, this is like 25% or something. So they still have to go for 4 moves in total. In order to try to knock you out, you can just go ahead and play it safe and just go up for your energy, just let the opponent throw and then go for the Brave Bird spam, which is definitely the way to go here in this matchup for the Pidgeot. I feel like it is a big upgrade for a Pidgeot, by the way, to be best buddied in 100%. I feel like always when I play my own Pidgeot, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I feel like mine are never really that bulky, so yeah, I definitely should build a new one and also best buddy it, as it seems like at least it's a very strong Pokemon to go for. We're going to see a bait here from the opponent coming through. Great call there from this player. As they're going to see the shield coming up onto the potential Earthquake, which is going to be the Earthquake, the only way for the opponent to still have a chance of winning this game. And they realize this as well and decide to forfeit. Next game coming up, Alolan Sandslash in the lead. Very good lead for you, as you're going to see a very nice Aesop for you as well with the Golisopod. They're most likely running something like a Giratina in the back, but here we're going to see the defense drop immediately, which is actually really bad for you. But you can go for the Brave Bird here, which is going to force a shield or the knockout against the opponent, and we're going to see the knockout, which is really good for you now. As you can go for the Feather Dance here, I would say, or you're going to go for the Brave Bird. I feel like both are fine. I think Feather Dance might be a little bit better for you as well, because you're going to just ensure that the opponent doesn't do as much damage with that Drill Run against your Cobalion. So here we're going to see the Ice Punch coming through. You might even want to go into your Jellicent, but no, you want to go into Cobalion just for the fast move pressure already. Drill Run does around 50% here, I would say, and exactly that's around what it did. And we're going to actually see the Giratina in the back. As said before, this was kind of predictable based on the team comp. So we're going to see a Dragon Breath variant here as well, which is interesting to see it in the back, as we're going to encounter now the matchup against the Jellicent. You can go for the Shadow Ball, but still a little bit awkward as the opponent gets to the moves fairly fast, but it's definitely better for them to have like Dragon Breath against you right now compared to Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is super effective, as well as going to generate more energy than the Dragon Breath does, so this is definitely a matchup that you want like this. Shield coming up against the Dragon Claw. You can go for another move, but the opponent swaps in their Sandslash. This is not going to knock them out. You should have most likely went for the Shadow Ball here, but you're going to swap out onto your Cobalion. I guess that works out well as well. But now you can go ahead, go for the Stone Edge. And you might even want to go for 2 Stone Edges here and try to knock them out with that. But let's see what you're going to try to do here. Do you go for 2 Stone Edges? Do you shield this move up here? I would shield it up, and yes, they do, as this will allow you to still win this game here. But yeah, you could have also most likely just went for the Shadow Ball and then went for a Shadow Ball afterwards against the Giratina. But this is also fine. So let's take a look at the next game here. We're going to encounter the Cobalion against the Sandslash again. Very great lead for you, as you're going to see a Tapu Fini swapping in, allowing you to go into your Jellicent, which is a very good matchup for you. Yes, Moonblast is going to hurt you quite a bit, but you can just 2-shot them with a Shadow Ball and a few more Hex damage there, as well as you're going to be able to resist the fast move of the opponent. You outspeed them because of your fast move generating more energy than Water Gun. So there's basically no like way that the opponent really can realign here, unless you're gonna go like shields down or something, or like keep the shields up here just in case. Let's see, they might actually wanna let this go through because it's just a Surf. You would have been able to survive it, most likely still get to a move. They're definitely going to be able to survive this one. But the opponent actually going to get this shield advantage against you now, and now you can definitely go just for the Surf to knock them out. But it's going to be still a little bit of a tough one here, as they're going to let this move go through for sure. In comes now the opponent's Sandslash again, so you can go for one Shadow Ball, doing a ton of damage. They're not going to shield. Now it just comes down to what they have in the back. Maybe a Golisopod. Let's see what it is. We're going to see the move coming through first from the Cobalion here, getting the shield from the opponent, the final shield here, and getting a ton of energy as well. They might want to actually go ahead and go for 2 charge moves here. Maybe they have something weak against Cobalion in the back, who knows. But you're going to be able to outspeed the opponent here, knock them out with a Sacred Sword. Great play here. And we're going to have the Charizard in the back, and you can take a move from the Charizard, and you can go for the Brave Bird here. which should knock them out from this range, as they are the Shadow variant. The normal variant definitely would survive this move, but I think the Shadow variant does go down to a Brave Bird from a Pidgeot, and it does. So yeah, that's going to be a very good game here, as you're going to move on to the next game coming up right now. Next game coming up here right now, we're going to encounter the Cobalion against a Pidgeot. This is going to be again a fairly neutral lead for you, but the opponent going to swap out immediately into Blastoise, which is a great matchup for your Jellicent. You might have been actually better off going for a Sacred Sword first, because this would put the opponent into range for just one Shadow Ball, which might be a little bit better. You're going to be able to resist every single move from a Blastoise on your Jellicent, which is amazing. This is why Blastoise, Jellicent is also so good, because it just hard walls a lot of the water/ice type Pokemon in the current meta. And this will allow you now to go ahead and go for another Shadow Ball here to try to knock them out. But here again, if you went for Sacred Sword, you most likely hit them either in Surf range or just knock them out with just one Shadow Ball. So definitely a little bit of improvement there if you want to do that, because it just helps you out kind of with the matchup. But I guess you kind of want to have your Jellicent low anyway for the incoming Pidgeot here, which can now farm you all the way down though, which is a little bit awkward. But the Jellicent is just so bulky that you can just go ahead and go for another charge move here against the opponent, which will allow you to now put the opponent into Sacred Sword range even, but not after a debuff. So that's going to be an interesting one here. Feather Dance coming through, we see the opponent swapping out most likely into a Toxic Rogue. This is amazing for you, as you can just shield up once. This might be a Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb would hurt you quite a bit. It is a Sludge Bomb. And you can just go for the debuffing move here, as now you're going to be able to take every kind of move from the opponent. You still have your Cobalion around, and the opponent knows already this game is over. There was nothing they can do. And we're going to move here into the most likely last game. I'm not sure, maybe the last or the second to last game of today's video. You're going to encounter here the Scrafty in the lead. This is a fairly neutral lead for you, as both of you are going to do super effective damage with both their fast and their charge move, but you're going to have the better charge move in terms of damage output, but the opponent has a better fast move in terms of damage output, so it kinda equals out each other after a while here, as you're going to see as well. The opponent now has to shield this move up, but they could realign if they want to, and they want to do exactly that. But you can go ahead and go into your Pidgeot. You can take a move here, you don't really have to shield the foul play, but you can shield the foul play, it's not a mistake or anything like this. But now we're going to see that they can go for another move. I think it's just a power punch from the damage. Oh, it's actually a foul play, okay. They actually got to the foul play as well. And we have the Auroras in the back. This is kind of awkward for you, because your Pidgeot really doesn't want to face this Pokemon. And also, your Jellicent is kind of awkward against it. Media Beam coming through, they're going to get the buff, and they're going to swap out immediately into their own Jellicent. This is an interesting play, because now they were able to catch a Surf, which is really bad for you. You're going to go for another Surf bait here, because it was an obvious Shadow Ball. Great play by you here, as you're going to be able to get the shield from the opponent. They go for the Shadow Ball. It does not knock you out for sure, but it's still going to be an awkward one to come back from. I don't think there's a way for you to come back from this one. You will be able to swap into your Pidgeot. They go for still a Surf. Yeah, there's nothing that you can do anymore. That's going to be it for this game as well. The Aurora is going to be too strong for you to deal with, as you can still go for the Brave Bird or the debuffing move as well. But yeah, Brave Bird is coming through. You might put them into Surf range with that one, but you don't even get to that. So that's going to be it for this battle here, and we're going to see most likely a 4-1 being claimed here right now. And this is going to be it for today's video. Definitely check out PurpleKyogre, link to his YouTube in the description as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Check out the 2 videos that you currently see on the screen, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.